Do you know a young person that need a job? Well, stay tuned and learn more right after this.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg,
Doc,
how you doing?
fine. And yourself?
I'm all right. This is final exam time for us, so it's a busy time. So it's nice. It's nice to be able to come do TV with you and relax a little bit.
Okay, let's be real. But but we're talking about a very important subject today.
Yeah.
Yeah, jobs for young people,
Yeah.
training for young people.
That sounds excellent. It
Yeah.
sounds excellent. And from what I understand, the program we'll be talking about today is very organized. It's got a lot of particular moving parts.
Okay.
And I'm anxious to learn how it works. You probably know already,
Clueless.
as is often the case.
But
you
we
know
will,
already.
we will learn together today.
You are not clueless. But we will be joined today by several representatives from the Youth Success Academy at GNTC. We're going to learn all about it together. Important show. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're very happy to have with us today Elisa Kennebrew and Casey Blevins. Did I say that right, Casey?
Cassie Blevins.
Cassie.
Thank you.
Cassie. And you are both work experience counselors?
Yes, sir.
See, with the Youth Success Academy at GNTC. So I kind of clued you in on this earlier, but we got to start with very basic stuff, and that is, what is the Youth Success Academy? Because this is new to me, so I need to know about it.
Well, the Youth Success Academy, we do several services that we have. We help ages 16 to 24, and we have several programs, one being the work experience we're going to highlight the most today. We have GED classes. We also offer the ITA, individual training account. We have the OJT, on-the-job training, and short-term training. So we have several services.
There's a lot of training.
It is.
All right, so if I were 16 to 24, is that right?
Yes.
And I was interested in this program. I didn't really have a firm direction for myself. I mean, I didn't know what to do. So I would be a candidate,
Yes.
prime candidate. So what would I do?
If you're coming in, first we wanted to see what the need is. If your need is you need a job, then that is 18 to 24. So we serve youth. The GED is mainly 16 to 24. So if you come in, the first thing we want to do is make sure you have everything, all the documents that we need. We need your social, ID, your diploma, and that's high school diploma or GED equivalent. So as you come in, we'll make sure that we give you the application and make sure that you do not currently have a job. So we'll make sure that we can meet that need, and then we'll want to look at to see where you work at or where you live at to make sure we can make sure that's convenient to and from work from your house.
So
we take that into factor.
the high school diploma or GED is an initial requirement.
Yes, sir.
So if a student does not have a high school diploma, you make sure they get into the GED program.
Yes,
So
sir.
would they have to be 16 for that, or could they be older?
They can be 16 to 24 for the GED program.
Okay.
And if they come to us and they need a job, the first thing we're going to do is say, well, we have the GED service to provide to you, and make sure they gain that.
But I'm looking at this, but it says they get a check for coming to class?
They do, yes.
Okay, so
they
you
do.
You know, I don't remember getting, you remember getting one of those for going to class?
No,
No.
but we get checks now for going to school.
After
Yeah.
the fact, yes, right, yes.
But not,
Okay.
so what, I mean, how does that work though?
They get a stipend based off of where they live and to the college where the classes will be
So
held.
it's basically to help with transportation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How much do they get?
That's a very good question.
I believe it's $250 a day.
Yeah, it's not going to be a paycheck. It's not going to be the work experience that we provide, but they do get a little stipend based off of.
$2.50?
Yes.
Okay, when you say $2.50, at first I was thinking, I'm like, wait a minute.
I wish we all could get
Something's
$250.
wrong with that
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
$2.50.
So basically enough really to help with gas and things of that nature, so they to remove one of those barriers that
Exactly.
could be. Okay.
All right, so we've taken care of the GED or high school diploma. You have found out what my need is. So then how do you direct me?
Based off the need, and say, for example, you need work experience. They're going to come in. Once they're eligible, we'll look at orientation. They're going to get life skills. They're going to get leadership. They're going to learn how to build their resume. They're going to take a career test, career scope that we pay for and we provide. It's based off of interest and aptitude, so what they're good at and what they're interested in for their life and their future, which is their future, not something we want them to do, which is great because we want their dream. And so we'll take that into factor. We'll interview them ourselves and screen them. We'll do mock interviews, and then we also will provide a employer in the community, and that's where they'll work, and then they'll have an interview with them as well. So they have a lot of experience that they'll gain with us, and then they'll go off and they'll work. They can gain up to 40 hours a week working and up to $8 an hour.
And how many weeks are they eligible to do that?
They're up to 500 hours
100 hours. Okay.
temporarily.
So so I just want to make sure. So then basically what you're talking about is, let's say you just graduated from high school, you're not sure, you know what jobs you don't want, but you don't know exactly how to avoid those jobs. You don't have the skill sets to not apply for those jobs.
Right.
So basically they can come to this program. Y'all take them through, I'm assuming, like a soft skills training, resume building, things of that nature. And then once you get them through that process, you will match them up with a employer in the community
Correct.
where they will be paid to work. I guess it's sort of like a apprentice program or OJT. They get paid to work. And I guess that employer knows this and is willing to work with them to help, I guess, further develop what you've already started.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is correct. And we'll make sure the employer's aware, and we'll have an orientation with them as well before they have the participant come in an interview. And then they'll start working, and we'll make sure to meet all the needs. If they struggle, we'll come out.
So really this is like the summer program that I know for years they had a summer program that was very similar, but it was usually just during the summer when kids were out of school for the summer. But now this is for kids 18 to 24, and this is year long, I'm assuming, anytime?
We are year round. We run a physical year. So we start in July and go all the way to June. So we're a year round program, and we're really looking to place several students. We've got a lot of money under the federal grant through Northwest Georgia Regional. So we've got the funding, and Lisa's been great. She's looking at new sites. She's looking at new employers out in the community, trying to get that word out and have more people come in. So what are some new sites, Elisa, that you've already looked at recently that want a partnership?
I'm actually working to get with Kroger and mainly stores is what I'm trying to work on now. So like Walmart to be a work site for potentials. But we actually will be accepting applications from January 9th through the 18th, and I will be having an orientation from the 19th to the 24th.
Now, I can tell you, and I know you got a lot of questions. I worked with the summer program one year. It's a daunting task because working with young people who may not have the skill sets and then just orientating them to the everyday workforce can be a lot. And I mean, and it takes a lot for employers because, I mean, you're actually taking up space and time and they want you to be productive, but it is a challenge. But I think this is so important because a lot of our school kids come out of school and they're not job ready. I mean, they may have the aptitude, but the skill sets, simple things sometimes we take for granted. A lot of our students just somehow just miss that. And we've worked with them.
How long have y'all been doing this?
I've been actually hired on since 2012, so full time.
And I started in September of this year.
Of this year?
Yes.
No, are any of you over 21?
Yes.
I'm
sir.
24.
I was saying there'd be definitely a connection, a pure
Yes,
thing
sir.
right there. Because
Well, I'm just curious, since you've done it for a couple of years and you've done it for a few months, what are some of the challenges that you're seeing?
That's a good one. That's a very good question. I know one of my main concerns is getting someone to work from their house, just making sure that they arrive. That's been some of the, at least one of their priorities. It should be on their list.
Transportation issues.
Correct.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we
Yeah,
see that
transportation.
just attending school as well.
Yeah.
So, what else? What are the kind of challenges that you see?
An example that I had to deal with this week is I had a new person come on and I set up an interview for them. Well, 15 minutes before they contacted me and told me they weren't going to be able to make it. So I had to tell them, okay, you don't ever do that. You have got to notify the employer hours before you can't make the interview and then reschedule. So that was a learning opportunity for him. Where I was able to explain to him, okay, this is how you do it next time. Now this time you get, pat on the shoulder, it's fine, we'll reschedule it. But if it was another employer or another program, it wouldn't have worked.
you know, I was talking to a major employer here in Rome, and we were just talking, and I asked him that same question. He said, our biggest problem is attendance. And this is a nice paying large employer here in Rome. He said, our biggest problem is attendance. You know, we just can't get people to come to work on time, and people calling in and things of that nature. And I don't know why, but it just seems like that's something that as a society we're going to have to deal with. But I can see that a lot, that kids, you know, and not just even kids. I mean, you have young adults who just somehow that time factor, being prompt, being on time, is just not something that's a priority at the time.
So you get the experience of discovering things that you would think that anyone, there would be obvious things to everyone,
Oh yeah,
and they're not.
definitely.
They're things that still need to be learned. And I'm curious why that is. I mean, why, I don't know, I'm not asking for an answer necessarily, but I know y'all see that all the time.
Yes, sir.
So on at least one level, one of the things y'all are doing is teaching some very basic things that everyone should know to handle any job situation. These are things that they probably should have already learned, but since you know, this is a place where they can learn those things.
Exactly.
And when they come to me and apply, I just notice, okay, are you on time? Did you call me and say you were late, or did your appointment, did you meet your appointment? And I just look at them and see how well they do from the beginning, the application time.
Well,
Good luck.
we are coming up on a break here in a few seconds, and we've got a lot more to cover, and we've got a couple of additional guests that will join us. So stay with us. We have a lot more to talk about with this great program. Do not go away.
college offers classes that meet my educational and career goals.
with opportunities outside of the classroom.
Where the faculty know me by name.
My college can prepare me for my career.
I can earn an associate's degree and transfer credits to a bachelor's.
My college is a state college within the university system of Georgia.
My college offers courses that fit my schedule.
It's where excellence begins.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are GHC, Georgia Highlands College.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been joined by Vince Stalling and Tammy Pence, also of the Youth Success Academy at GNTC. And Mr. Stalling, you are a Youth Services Coordinator.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Pence, you are a Youth Specialist.
That's right.
Now, I've always wanted to find a youth specialist.
You have.
They're hard to find.
I want to know what a youth specialist is.
Well, I already told someone that I'm young and I'm special.
Oh,
Well, that covers it. That
I
covers
qualify for that.
it. You are a youth specialist. So, what part in this pretty large seeming program do both of y'all play? And I guess we'll start with you, Ms. Pence, since you are young and special.
Well, I oversee two of our programs that we have, and one of them is the short-term training program, where we can offer short-term training to young people from 18 to 24, and the one that really is called on is our welding program. And we have a lot of young people that just want to learn their MIG and TIG training and get a certificate for it. And here in Floyd County, you know, we can give them a certificate, and it takes them anywhere between a week to 2 weeks to get the MIG, and then again they'll turn around and take the TIG training. So a lot of people are interested in that. It's free, no cost. All of their equipment is provided for them. Their boots are provided for them, and they get paid to go to class.
So wait a minute. So because I'm not into that at all. So they come in with no skills. So in what short period of time, and what amount of time can they actually be with a certificate and go work?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Well, what the welding instructor does here at this campus is they do 10-hour classes. And so they have to have 40 hours to get their MIG certificate, and then 40 hours to get their TIG. So sometimes, and it's according to his schedule, sometimes they can get that 40 hours within a week and get a certificate.
Well, we're talking about less than 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be certified to go weld?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Goodness.
If they're interested after they get these certificates.
My sons right now.
After they get those certificates, if they're interested, we can put them in our OJT program and actually let them find work and continue getting some training. So that's an opportunity that they have. So they're getting their training and going right to work.
It also gives them the opportunity to see if this is what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a short-term training, and they're doing well, then they're going to make pretty good monies right off the bat. But if that's what they really want to do, they can go and get their associates and continue to build their career.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, and I'm sorry, Doc, but I'm kind of stuck on this.
Yeah.
So the tuition is and everything is paid.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what do they have to pay for the short-term training?
Their obligation is to complete the training.
Mm-hmm.
And once they complete that training, then, you know, they can take the tools that we've provided for them and use them for work.
Now, is the pay, I guess, what, minimum wage, federal minimum wage, or?
You're talking about on the OJT
No, the
program?
short-term training.
Their pay to go into class is that same stipend for
Okay.
transportation. And that stipend depends on where they live. So it
Yeah.
can be anywhere from $2.50 a day to $10 a day.
Just depends on where they live.
Exactly.
But when they go to work, it's going to be
OJT?
OJT. It's going to be whatever that employer wants to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So
they
we've
don't
had
get the gas. They don't need the gas money for very long. It's like a couple of days.
So so I'm assuming this class is packed. Like y'all probably don't have room for this, right?
I would love it to be packed, and I am searching for those young people who are wanting to get this training free at no cost and be willing to come to class and finish the program.
Now, for the short-term training, is the high school diploma or GED also still required? All right,
That's right.
so if they come in and they don't have one or the other of those, they must do that first.
That's right, and
Okay.
I will direct them that way. But not only do we have welding, we have some other programs that are short-term training: administrative, professional. We have logistics, maintenance training, and serve-safe training. So I mean, I have other. The welding has just been the one who's really
we'll
been
let you
highlighted.
talk about that when they come down there. I'm stuck on this welding. But no, because I'm curious because is there a demand for welding? I'm wondering. Is there a demand? So like once they go through the training and once they do the OJT, how realistic is it to find a job? And I guess within Northwest Georgia.
Yeah. Our guys have, of course, most of our guys want to do the OJT, and so they're going into a welding environment directly after that training. But some of our guys decide they don't want to do the OJT program. They've got a job waiting for them, you know, whether it be boiler making or you know.
So there's employment for welders.
Absolutely.
And you could take that one welding degree, get more training. I mean, the opportunities are endless, like underwater welding.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making $75, $80 an hour.
Underwater.
No, when I'm underwater, I'm looking at fish. I'm not welding.
But we think that just the opportunity,
Yes.
we give them the opportunity to open their eyes, to give them a view of what could possibly happen with our work experience, with our short-term training, on-the-job training, and say the opportunities are limitless. Even if you're from Floyd County, Walker County, we can do it from here.
So, and I know since I am, you know, not mechanical in any way at all, it would seem to me that to learn to weld, it would take like years. So your program is so quick. Is it? I mean, would you say that it's, you know, just the basics you need to get started, and then you learn the more difficult aspects on the job training?
You
Is
do.
that how it works?
You've
or-
got to hone in on those skills, but that's why the on-the-job training program is such a good idea for these students, because after they get the training, they can still continue to get training, but it's more hands-on. And then a lot of our students enjoy it so much, they want to go into our diploma program at Georgia Northwestern Technical College, because the MIG training and TIG training doesn't do blueprints or anything like that. So, you know, they want to go through the degree program or the diploma program.
Do you know what MIG and TIG is?
No, but I do know different forms of welding. I'm not, but I know they even got the plasma and everything else. So I think I could do it because I am somewhat mechanically inclined. But I'm struggling with the idea that when I look at the number of youth in Florida in this round Roman, Florida area without jobs and with a sense of hopelessness, because there's a lot of despair when you really work. When you're working with youth, there are a lot of youth that are they just pretty much have given up already.
Yes.
And you're saying within a 2-month period, less than 2 months, you can have them on a road that potentially leads, that is unlimitless.
Yes.
Right here in Floyd County.
Absolutely.
And we're right there on the Georgia Northwestern campus. I mean, we're all we need is really 5 people to get a class started. So we're not asking for a lot. 5 people, we get the class started, and 2
You're
weeks.
talking about a group of friends hanging out on the corner.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You ain't doing that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow.
And I mean, I could tell you right now, we could call this number, 706-295-6514, and things can begin to happen that will change your life right on the Georgia Northwestern campus.
Well, I know I'm taking this back. We have a meeting tonight. I know we'll be pushing this because this is just, I feel somewhat blindsided. I didn't know that this was happening.
See, I expect you to know these things so you can help me.
I know you do, but that's why we have the show. So let's move on though, because I know that's just one program.
That's right.
Now I know the
let's hear
individual
about some
training
of- let's hear
account.
about
I see
some
this
of the
is
others.
first-time college students.
Yes. Now, if you think that the short-term training blew your mind, think about this. We have a program that will help students pay for their college tuition. They can come into our program and they're students of Georgia Northwestern Technical College, and we will pay for every bit of their tuition costs any of their supplies that they have. If they're in nursing, they get their scrubs. If they're in welding, they get their tools or whatever. And they get paid to go to college classes.
You mean I got all these student loans?
Yes. Now I have a student at Valdosta State, my son. You know, and we're paying. You know, but these kids can have their college paid for and be debt free when they get finished.
What amazes me is that I'm thinking, if you really want it, you could start the short-term training, find you gainful employment, productive employment, and continue your education at Georgia Northwestern, get your associates, you go to Georgia Highlands and whatever.
Right.
But I'm saying, but the opportunity is here. And I'm just befuddled because we have a lot of youth that I feel do not know this information.
Absolutely.
And that are just walking around, getting into trouble, making decisions, but they really have no clue, or I think they don't know that the opportunity exists.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's why we're here, is to help get this message out.
You're exactly right. The Youth Success Academy started back in 2002. However, that's in Walker County. We have a second campus now here on the Floyd campus, and it's been going for about 5 years. However, the work experience, the ITA, all these other programs we're telling you about, it's only about 1.5 years. Okay. So now we've been pushing the GED, and the GED is going strong here in Floyd County campus. But now we want to present other opportunities.
Let me ask this, because your age range is 18 to 24, unless they're in the GED program, which is younger. If someone is almost 24, can they still get in?
Yes.
So they just need to get in before they turn 24.
Yes.
Once they're in, they're in.
They need to be with us. If they turn 24, they're still good. They need to apply before they turn 25.
I see.
So you could be 24 in 9 months.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, I know there's applications are being accepted from the 9th to the 18th of January.
Yes.
And orientation, I guess you learn about once you apply, but it's right after that. So you gave the number before, but when we come back in a minute here after this break, we're going to give this information again, contact information. You need something to write this down with, because if you don't need this, if you don't have someone in your family that needs this, I bet you know someone nearby that does. So stay with us. We're going to give you that crucial information when we get back. Do not go away.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been talking with the folks from the Youth Success Academy at GNTC, where you can get GED training, you can get job training, short-term, on-the-job, you can get college paid for. A lot of opportunities to change your situation quickly. So this is what you need to do, because they're accepting applications from January 9th through the 18th. You need to call this number, write this down now, 706-295-6514, 706-295-6514, and that's the Youth Success Academy at GNTC. Thank y'all for being with us.
Thank you.
And thank y'all for being with us. We'll see you next time on Community Watch.